Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Zenphi to audit the shared drives with 0 members on your Google Drive, and also audit the files which are shared externally on those drives. Sometimes in our organizations, we end up in situations with shared drives that don't have members. However, they're still active, and the files shared on those drives are accessible with the people it was shared with. This could potentially lead to unwanted data leak to outside of the organization. Now, let's get it started. To set up the scenario, I want to show you I've created a sample drive. I call it demo zombie drive. As you can see, it's got one person. Now, and it's got 3 files on it. 2 of them are shared, and 1 of them is private. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to step out of here. I'm going to mimic the situation. First, let me go and remove the only user on that drive so that it turns into a zombie drive. So the action I'm interested in Zenphi, delete sharing. So obviously in the real life, you don't do this. I'm just trying to show you how we set up the scenario. I'm after the drive ID. I'm just gonna copy the drive ID. This is one. Let's get it from the URL. Step out of it. Let's go back here. Paste. Wanna move based on this is the only user there. And I have to say, go on as administrator. Save. Let's run a start. As I mentioned, in real life, you wouldn't be doing this. Normally you end up with a shared drives because people either have left the organizations or their organizational unit permission has changed. So let's move this. So if I go back to my list of shared drives, I won't see that drive anymore in here. Now, let's go start creating the flow to audit uh, that drive or any other potential drives I may have in my environment. You normally want to run this on a schedule every week, every month, depending on how big or small your organization is. Audit shared drives with no members. Save. I'll say starting from today, same time, run it every 1 week. So first thing I want to do, I want to get a list of shared drives with 0 members. So we've got an action in Zenphi called list shared drives. Um, this action enables you to list all the shared drives in your organization. So I'm going to say running as an admin because as an admin, you may not have access to the drive, but you still want to get a list of them. Now, as I mentioned, this action is going to list everything. However, we want to limit to the drives which don't have any members. So that means we need to configure something in the query. And if you're wondering what we can put in the query, have a look at this link. These are all the values you can configure in the query. In my case, it's just pretty simple. I'm interested in members count. I'm going to close this, say member counts equals 0. List shared drives with no members. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use log to history first. I'm gonna make sure the action returns the right values. Just gonna print out all the drives. Let me do a save and a test run just to be sure so far I've configured everything correctly. Let's start. Okay, let's look at the output. And as you can see, that's the only drive in my environment which has got no members. So this is the name of the drive. So far so good. What I want to do, let me get rid of the log to history. Next thing I want to do, because there could be 0, there could be a number of drives here. I want to use for each, and for each one of those drives, I want to compile a list of externally shared files. So let's say for each, I'm going to say go and look through result for each drive, or let's better say shared drive. First thing I want to do, say shared files. Actually, list users shared files. This is the action I'm interested in. So in here, I can configure the connection. This is a special type of connection, service account with admin delegate access. If you down here say, where do you want to look? I say shared drive, and then the drive ID is gonna come from the ones that which we have found, if any. I'm interested only in the files, and I'm saying exclude the items from the trash. Which kind of sharing types I'm interested with? The ones which are shared with either external email addresses or shared with a link. And if I select external email addresses as part of the sharing type I'm interested in to return, I need to specify what domains I consider as internal. So in my case, these are the domain I consider as internal domains. Now there's one more thing we need to configure here. We need to perform this action on behalf of a user. So shared drives, as you know, the files on a shared drive do not belong to any user. They belong to the shared drive. So the workaround, but there's no member on that drive. Now the workaround here, what we use is that we go and temporarily add the user to the drive, and then perform the action, and then remove it. So what I'm gonna do here and say share item. I'm gonna go and say, you know what, go to for this shared drive ID. Saying organizer user, and now you can hard code the email address, or you can get it from somewhere else. I hard code the email address. Say run as admin. I don't need to send a notification. So add user to the shared drive. Then what we can do here, we can type in the same user email address as .com and perform the action on behalf of this user. Once we have done it, we have the option to go and revoke the action again. Do the same thing, delete sharing if we wanted to, so it becomes a drive. We can also go and altogether delete the drive, but for the sake of demo, I'm gonna skip over this step. Now, I've got a list of the files. I want to generate a report based from those files. So what I'm gonna do, I've already created a Google Sheet template. I'm gonna populate one of these. Let's go back to the flow. Wrong one. Let's go back here. I want to make a copy of the item. Copy file. Let's select the item. Share drive. This is a template. I'm saying make a copy of this template. Put it in the folder I've created there. Cases. Generated documents. Select, and the name is just name it generated report for drive, and I use a shared drive name. Okay, give it a name, copy template file. Now that I've got a copy of that, all I need to do, I need to add rows, add multiple rows. I want to add a collection of rows to that Google Sheet. So I select it. The file ID, I do a trick here. Let me get the file ID. Here, this is a trick I do so that I can get hold of all the columns in the sheet. Select the sheet. I'm gonna say it has header, load headers, And once I've done this, I go back and actually do it the right way. Delete. I say, you know what, because I made a copy of the file, I need to dynamically populate this. This is the ID of the new file I created, and the name was sheet 1. Let's confirm that. Sheet 1, yes. Okay, and I need to map the collection, and the collection of files I want to add is, where is it? List user shared drive, these are the files. Okay, for the drive ID, it's going to come in from the for each. I get the drive ID from here. Drive name also comes from for each. Drive name. However, the file name and the file ID, they're going to come from the collection I map. This is the ID, file name, this is the name, view link is the view link, has link sharing. There's a property down here, if I remember correctly, link sharing. If I expand this, has link sharing. I've got the same for email sharing. Just want to remind you, you can do the same thing for domain shared files as well. As external email sharing, true. And finally, if it's got external email sharing, let me know which email addresses is shared with. So that's it. Okay, at this point in time, we will have generated the report. Now you've got the option to send it to IT. You've got the option to delete all the sharings. Basically, for each file you can loop through it and delete the sharing. But for the sake of the demo, I just stop here and we just go ahead and test it to generate the report. Let me do a test run. Start new instance here. At the same time, I'm gonna go here. Go to generated documents. Okay, let's go back and see what it flows up to. Actually, seems it has already generated the report for us. Let's see, it's adding the files to the report. Let's go back and look at the report. We should see two files in there. One was shared with, let me actually remove the bold. One was shared with the link, which goes and says got link sharing, expand this. One of them has got link sharing. Sorry, this is the second one. And the first one has had email sharing and is shared with this user email address. So like I mentioned, if I come back to Zenphi, down here, there's a lot you can do depending on how you want to proceed. As I mentioned, you can look through each file and remove the permissions, or you can send this file as kind of, the report with someone in the IT or yourself to review and take action on. So it's really up to you how you want to proceed, but auditing the shared drives with no users, no members, and also externally shared files on those drives, as you can see, it's quite easy with Zenphi. And even better, you can put this on autopilot, configure it to run every month, every week, and so to generate a report, so you can have a peace of mind on that aspect of the data security. Hope you find this useful, and please let us know if you got any suggestions or questions. Thank you very much.